Good morning, my lovely angels. My sweetheart, how are you today? I'm sure you're well. Very well, thank you. I know you said that. I'm also well too. Thank you for asking. Welcome to today's class. And in our class today, we'll be looking at non-chronological reports. That's our creative writing. Today, we'll be discussing the features of a non-chronological report. We'll also be defining non-chronological reports. I will see samples of a non-chronological report. Before we continue, I know you've heard about non-chronological reports. So in your head right now, what do you think non-chronological report is? What kind of writing is a non-chronological report? Okay, I know you must have thought of something. So I would like to tell you that non-chronological report is a piece of writing that provides the reader with factual information about a chosen topic. Don't forget that word factual, facts. And you know something that is factual is true. It is not false, does not have any iota of lie in it. So whatever is true is what we give in a non-chronological report. Also, the kind of information in a non-chronological report does not follow a certain order. Yes, it has its features, it has the way you need to write it, that one as well, but it doesn't follow a time order. I want to ask you a question. Have you seen a book called Horrid Henry before? Yes, of course, you've seen that. And I'm also sure you've seen magazines where, especially newspaper, where you see an article. Okay, here I have the Horrid Henry, which is a fictional story, and a football match, which is non-fiction. And don't forget what I told you. Fictional stories are stories that are not real. Then a non-fiction stories are fictions that are real. From your own thinking and understanding, Horrid Henry and a football match, which is a non-chronological report. Uh, I'm sure you must have guessed the right answer is the football match because here it is real and it's a fact. But Horrid Henry is not a fact because the story ends real. So what is the difference between this type of book, this type of text that you've seen in this football match and the Horrid Henry? Okay. So let's read this piece of writing, just a little bit of it, which is talking about football. Association football, or as popularly called soccer, is often called the beautiful game and is one of the most popular sports on the planet. Whether it is played on a street corner or in front of thousands of fans, the sport combines speed, strength, and skill to produce an exciting spectacle. Is it not interesting? Here are facts, just a simple fact about football. Let's move on to the features of a non-chronological report. What can we see in a non-chronological report? What are expected to be there in a non-chronological report? As highlighted in this picture, a non-chronological report should have a title. Here, the title of this story here or information is, guess what? Football. And you can see it is written boldly, very wide, not small like most of us would do our title. Title here is very big and everybody can see it. Also, after the title, you give it a brief introduction, just short introduction, something telling you about football generally, a general knowledge about football. What do you know? What do you want others to know? Some facts about football. After which you move on to the subheading. You can have one subheading, you can have two subheadings, you can have three as many subheadings you want to have in a non, as long as you have facts about that topic. All right. Don't forget that everything you're writing here should be written in paragraphs. All right, that is a very important thing. When we are writing stories, we indent with our thumb. Don't forget, look at my thumb. We place it on our book to give it a paragraph. So whenever you're writing even a non-chronological report, you have to indent to give it paragraphs. Every subheading every subheading part must use paragraph. Okay, Then another thing that is of importance here is the diagram. If you look at the picture here, very colorful, you are expected to also put pictures that are colorful. Then you make use of your past tense. You don't always write, make use of your present tense also and your past tense if it's something that's happened in the past. But if it's something that is happening now, most of the time we prefer you use the present tense. Don't forget to always use the third person pronoun. It's very important also. You can use your he, your she, your it, your they. That's very important. Don't say I most of the time in a non-chronological report. Most of the time the story isn't about you. Okay. All right. So here are the features of a non-chronological report. If you want to add extra information to this piece of writing, you can create a column where you put fun facts your fun facts that you want, that you know that, oh, this part is the most interesting fact about my topic. You can add it to it. It makes your writing very interesting. So what are the features of a non-chronological report? Can you remember them? Can you remember them? Yes, your title, don't forget. Your introduction, don't forget. Your story should be written in subheadings. You should use a third person pronoun. Yes, another important thing is that the information you're giving us, is it true or false? That's one thing you should have in your head. So whenever you're writing this thing, you should put on your thinking cap so that you can remember facts, truth, and not false. All right. Okay, here is a brief summary of the features of a non-chronological report. Yes, in these features, we can see the topic, the title, which is the main heading, a brief introduction, who, what, and where. That's our three wives. Then your story should also have subheading. You should have factual information. Very important. Factual. It must be facts. Then your fact boxes also and your bullet points, very important. Then your pictures labeled. Your picture should be labeled because there are some things that your reader won't know, but once you label them, oh, it will give that the reader an information of what you're talking about. Then don't forget to also use past tense. Technical languages are very important. A third person also use a formal tone. You have to be professional in this game. Don't be casual in your write-up. Provided you're giving us facts, it should be formal. There's no need to beat around the bush or play around words here. Your tone also should be formal. Then so far, I know you have enjoyed our lesson, and I know from now on you'll be able to give me a beautiful non-chronological report. So therefore, we have been able to recognize the difference between fiction and non-fiction. We have also been able to read and discuss features of a non-chronological report. Then we identified the features of a non-chronological report. Not to end our class so easily, here I have something for you that you're going to do for me. Here is a quick activity that you will just place your hands on, and it's going to be very interesting. I have a story about mammoths. How many of us know about mammoths? Mammoths that lived in the Stone Age. You're going to read that story and tell me facts. No, you're not even writing facts about mammoths. You're just annotating for me using the features of a non-chronological report. According to our text here, you have to read the mammoth's non-chronological report, see if you can find and label the features that you have done so far, those features that you have learned so far. I want to know that you can still remember them, like your title. You identify the title for me. Tell me that this is where they wrote the introduction. Tell me that this is the subheading. Give me factual information. Just use these features here to annotate that story of mammoth. Thank you very much. When we see next time, we'll be able to write a non-chronological report using the features. Don't forget, so far we have learnt a lot, and I will be happy and to know that you can now write a non-chronological report. See you next time. Bye. Love you all.